Okay, Snark Squad. I need you to kick things off by telling yourselves it is Saturday afternoon.
Yes, it is. Finally.
And babes, I have officially exchanged the iced coffees for wine. We are fully transitioning. Cheers to that.
Oh, cheers. I literally just cracked mine open. I have my snacks, my highlighters, my legal pads. It is a whole setup over here.
I love that for us. Thank you, babes, for being here and hanging out with us today. If you haven't already, do not forget to subscribe, share, and send this to your messiest friends.
Please do, because you are going to need someone to process this with.
Seriously. Because, babes, this is a special episode. We are diving into the unexpected Season 7 legal drama, and it is wild.
Wild is honestly an understatement.
Like watching all of this unfold in real time while the season is literally airing on our screens right now. Unhinged. I am totally overwhelmed. I am fully invested in this mess.
Yeah, I mean, I brought all my color-coded notes to try and hold the analytical line, but even my highlighters cannot contain this level of chaos. Like, what is actually happening right now?
I do not know, but I need to give a massive shout out to all of our legal eagle snarkers in the Reddit threads and our DMs who have been keeping us updated.
Yes. Babes, we see you. We appreciate you. You are doing the Lord's work out there in the county clerk portal.
Truly. But let's be clear before we get into this. We're not lawyers.
Not even close.
We are dentists. But still, shout out to all the professionals no matter what you practice.
Exactly. So, yes, there might be some legal jargon or specific filings that we do not fully understand the technicalities of.
Right.
But, babes, we are going to break down everything we do know about this off-camera drama.
Yeah.
And we are going to react accordingly.
Oh, I have my reactions locked and loaded. Let me just take a sip of this Pinot because my heart rate is already elevated.
Same. I am just refreshing the legal docket on my phone right now just in case something dropped in the last 5 minutes. Wait, what? Okay, no false alarm.
You scare me. Do not do that to me.
Sorry. It is just the sheer morbid curiosity of it all.
Completely.
Yeah.
Because to understand the absolute legal nightmare that is unfolding off camera right now, we first have to talk about the fairy tale of garbage being edited for us on screen.
The illusion.
Exactly. So let's lay out the baseline for the Snark Squad. On Season 7 of Unexpected, right now we are watching Hunter and Bella. Hunter is 14, Bella is 16.
Right. And just to remind everyone of the math here, they conceived their baby, Wes, when Hunter was 12 and Bella was 14.
12? A 12-year-old boy. I cannot even wrap my head around that. But the narrative TLC is painting for us is so specific.
Very specific. The edit paints Hunter's dad, Casey, as this complete deadbeat villain.
Yeah, the mothers, Hunter's mom, Stacy, and Bella's mom, Phelan, are totally controlling this narrative on the show. They keep telling the cameras that Casey walked away.
That he supposedly told middle school-aged Hunter that he ruined his life and then just vanished into the night.
And we are watching this thinking like, wow, what an absolute monster, abandoning a kid who is trying to figure out how to be a dad before he even has his braces off.
But then the real world comes crashing in. Because we pulled the court documents filed in Arkansas.
The receipts.
The literal legal receipts. And Casey didn't abandon Hunter at all.
He didn't. Are we being gaslit by TLC right now?
We absolutely are. According to the filings, Casey refused to sign the network's exploitation waivers for his minor son. He refused to be on television.
Which, I mean, is totally fair. What sane parent wants their middle schooler's teenage pregnancy broadcast to millions of strangers?
Exactly. But because he wouldn't play the reality TV game, TLC just let Stacy and Phelan completely assassinate his character on camera.
It makes me so mad because while the audience thinks he is a deadbeat, what was he actually doing?
He was in court. He has been fighting for full custody of Hunter since April 2025.
Which is crazy because baby Wes was born in March 2025.
Right, so literally a month after the baby is born, Casey is begging a judge to save Hunter from what he calls an unstable and unwholesome environment.
And I was reading through those docs, and I was like, wait, why did it take him until April to do this? Family courts usually favor them on anyway, right?
Usually, yes.
Right.
But if you look at the timeline in these filings, Casey actually had full custody back in 2017.
Wait, I missed that part. Why did he have full custody?
Because Stacy went to an inpatient rehab facility for substance issues. So Hunter lived full-time with Casey and his stepmom, Brittany, for a while.
Okay, so he has always been there. He was literally raising him.
Yes. And it gets crazier. In 2021, Stacy fell on hard times again, and Casey actually let her move into their house.
He let his ex move in with him and his new wife.
Yes. just to keep Hunter's life stable. Does that sound like a dad who wants to abandon his kid?
Absolutely not. But on the show, Stacy is claiming she hasn't seen Casey in a year and called him abusive.
Total projection.
Yeah.
Because in those same court documents, Casey is the one asking the judge to order hair follicle and urine drug tests for Stacy.
Stop! He demanded a hair follicle test.
Yes. And he offered to pay for it up front. He said she only had to pay him back if she failed it.
You do not ask for a hair follicle test unless you know something is going on.
Well,
A hair follicle test goes back months.
exactly. An absentee dad doesn't drop thousands of dollars on lawyers demanding forensic drug testing.
So Casey is clearly not the villain here. But my question is, at what point does TLC's legal team step in?
That is the multi-million-dollar question.
Right, like they're airing a 13-year-old boy failing the 8th grade, looking totally exhausted and traumatized, while his dad is literally in court begging the state to intervene.
The reality TV loophole is massive. They classify these kids as documentary subjects, not actors, so there are no strict child labor laws protecting them.
No set tutors, no hour limits. As long as Stacy signs the paper to secure the bag, TLC can just keep the cameras rolling.
Ethically, it is a nightmare. But legally, the network relies on the consenting parent.
Which leads us to the ultimate question. If Casey is the same one trying to put up guardrails, how did Hunter end up basically living at his 14-year-old girlfriend's house?
Because of the enablers?
Yes, the enablers.
Yeah.
Stacy and Bella's parents, Phelan and Chris. Let's talk about the Vaughn household.
Let's talk about it, because the court documents detail Casey's absolute horror at what was going on over there.
And what we literally saw on TV, the total lack of boundaries is insane.
The Vaughn house is basically a glorified frat house run by toddlers.
A frat house, that is exactly what it is. Like Phelan and Chris tracking Hunter's phone, discussing anal sex on television with teenagers.
Stellar parenting happening over there, truly. Let's give them a round of applause.
And we have to talk about the shower scene.
I knew you were going to bring up the shower scene.
I have to, because when I watched that, I was screaming at my screen. Bella is 15. She just had a major C-section.
Right, they literally cut through muscle.
Yes. She had her staples removed, and she is trying to shower, and she starts passing out from the pain.
And who is there helping her? Not a nurse.
Yeah.
Not her mom.
No, it is Hunter, a 13-year-old middle schooler trying to manage a post-operative medical emergency in a slippery shower.
And Bella went on TikTok to defend it. She was like, I was passing out. I needed his help.
Which just proves the point. Where are the adults?
Exactly. In the legal filings, Casey points this out. He says the Vaughn home lacks appropriate supervision and enforces peer-level decision-making.
Peer-level decision-making. That is such a polite legal way to say the parents want to be cool friends instead of parents.
They abdicated all their authority. They're letting kids make life-or-death adult decisions.
It is terrifying. And I am just over here spiraling like, where is CPS?
Right, everyone is asking that.
Seriously. If we are watching medical neglect broadcast to the whole world, how is the state not intervening?
The threshold for CPS in Arkansas is really high. Unless a child is in imminent physical danger, like starvation or severe physical abuse, they are so overburdened they rarely step in for emotional enmeshment or bad boundaries.
Which TLC totally knows. They purposefully find these broken, boundaryless families.
Because dysfunction pays. Chris Vaughn literally posted a video bragging about how fat his reality TV royalty check is going to be.
It makes me sick. And it reminds me of all the other unexpected cringe moments. Like, remember the broken water actually being semen incident?
Oh my God, don't remind me.
Or post-traumatic Down syndrome? It is just a cycle of exploiting people who do not have the capacity to protect themselves.
But this isn't just about Chris wanting a check or being a cool dad. This goes into something much darker.
Well, way darker.
And that brings us to Phelan.
Seriously, fuck Phelan the felon. That woman is fucking freaky.
I mean, the grooming allegations in these court docs are jaw-dropping.
The word grooming gets thrown around a lot, but what she was doing.
Okay.
Break down the secret phone thing.
Right, so Casey claims he intercepted a secret cell phone that Phelan bought specifically for Hunter.
She bypassed his father completely. She bought a device for a middle schooler who is in the middle of a bitter custody battle.
It is a classic isolation tactic. She is establishing a direct hidden line to a child that isn't hers.
And the texts on it, Casey says they were highly inappropriate. She was using the silent treatment on a 14-year-old boy.
She was emotionally manipulating him. If he didn't do what she wanted, she ignored him.
And using baby Wes as a weapon. Like, if you do not accuse me, you cannot see your son. It is sick.
Legally, we look at this through the lens of parental alienation. Phelan is forcing Hunter into a loyalty bind.
Tell the Snark squad about the specific text message because that made me so angry.
Okay, so in the court docs, there's a text exchange where Hunter asks Phelan why she is mad at him.
He is literally begging for her approval.
And she responds with 2 words, your dad.
Wow.
She's basically telling him, you have to hate your father to be accepted by me. He has to actively bash Casey to get back in her good graces.
That is emotional abuse. So I have to ask you, and I am asking the Snark squad too, is she just living vicariously through her teenage daughter's drama, or is she weirdly obsessed with a middle school boy?
Well, that leads us to the Grandpa Wendell receipt.
Oh my God, Grandpa Wendell, the absolute bomb drop.
Chris's own father went on the record claiming that Phelan wanted Hunter and Bella to get pregnant.
She wanted them to. A grown woman wanted 12 and 14-year-olds to have a baby. And why? What was the reason he gave?
Because they are, quote, pretty kids.
Pretty kids. I need to take another sip of wine. That makes my skin crawl.
It is a massive red flag for severe psychological enmeshment. It borders on a proxy relationship where she is orchestrating their romance from the inside.
It is predatory. And Stacy just lets it happen. Why does she allow another grown woman to control her son like this?
Because Stacy's primary goal seems to be fighting Casey, not protecting Hunter.
It is just a total failure on the mom's parts. Honestly, fuck all these adults except Casey.
Agreed. But the manipulation via that secret phone, it couldn't stay a secret forever?
No, it couldn't. And that is what led to the real-time chaos, the sirens, the mugshots.
April 20th, 2026. Let's set the scene.
Paint the picture for us, because the Reddit snoops were having a field day with the neighborhood ring cam rumors.
It is Casey's legally designated parenting time. Stacy and Brittany get into an argument over transportation.
Right, Stacy trying to pick him up when she isn't supposed to.
Exactly. And during this chaos, Brittany finds the secret cell phone Phelan paid for.
So Brittany does what a normal stepmom would do. She confiscates the unauthorized phone.
Yes. She sets a boundary. But Phelan cannot handle losing that control, so what does she do?
She and Chris literally roll up to Casey's house, uninvited.
To a house they have zero legal right to be at, to demand back a phone they had no business buying.
The audacity. I am practically spilling my wine just thinking about it. So the cops get called.
The police arrive. The affidavit says Chris showed up in an agitated state.
Naturally.
And instead of de-escalating, Phelan interferes with the police officers.
Over a teenager's cell phone, she is putting her hands on cops.
She physically obstructs them and gets arrested for disorderly conduct.
Handcuffed on the lawn. But wait, I have to add the most unhinged detail of the whole night.
Well, the wellness check.
Yes. While Phelan is literally getting arrested, Stacy decides to call the cops too to request a wellness check on Casey's house.
And why did she call it in?
Because Casey took away Hunter's Xbox.
You literally cannot make this up.
A normal dad grounds his kid and takes the Xbox, and the mom calls in a police wellness check. It is a complete weaponization of the police.
But back to Phelan for a second. She pleaded not guilty to the charge. And her lawyer sent Casey what we call a spoliation letter.
Right, you mentioned this to me earlier. What is that in Snark Squad terms?
It is a legal demand to preserve evidence. Phelan legally demanded that Casey not delete any ring camera footage from that night.
Oh, so she thinks the camera proves she didn't touch the cops.
That is a defense strategy. But think about why she risked getting arrested in the first place.
Right. Why go crazy over a piece of plastic?
That matches the Reddit theories entirely. There is something on that device she desperately did not want the police or Casey to see.
Do you think it is worse than the alienation?
If she is risking a physical altercation with law enforcement, the panic implies significant liability. Is it more grooming? We don't know.
But her getting arrested was the golden ticket for Casey.
It absolutely was. It handed him the perfect leverage.
Because 4 days later, the legal eagle caps really go on. April 24th.
Casey files for emergency ex parte custody.
Okay, break down ex parte for me. That sounds intense.
It means the judge looked at the evidence, the arrest, the phone, the texts, and said this kid is in immediate danger.
Like immediate.
Yes. They bypass a standard hearing and grant Casey full emergency custody of Hunter on the spot.
Which is a huge win. Stacy's parenting time gets suspended.
And Phelan and Chris are legally banned from contacting Hunter.
Thank God. The judge literally banned him from sleeping at Bella's, banned him from social media, and banned him from using any Vaughn-funded phones.
The judge severed the digital umbilical cord Phelan created.
I celebrated when I read that. Finally an adult acting like an adult. But then I kept reading the docket and I started spiraling again.
Because of the reverse Uno card.
Yes. Casey is suing Chris Vaughn for full custody of the 13-month-old baby Wes.
It's an incredible legal strategy.
But wait, how can Casey legally get custody of a baby that isn't his? He is the grandfather.
He isn't filing as just the grandfather. He filed as the parent and next friend to Hunter.
Next friend.
Yes. Hunter's a 14. He cannot legally hire a lawyer or sue for custody of his own son.
Right, that makes sense.
So Casey steps into Hunter's legal shoes. He is asserting Hunter's paternal rights to protect his grandson from the exact same environment he just rescued Hunter from.
Wow, so he is saying if the Vaughn house is too dangerous for my son, it is too dangerous for my grandson?
Exactly. He asked the court to change Wes's last name to Johnson and restrict Bella to visitation only.
That is nuclear. But Hunter posted that sad TikTok video defending Phelan right before the social media ban.
Which Casey claims Stacey coerced him into making.
It totally looked coerced. His eyes were darting around. It was so sad.
But the court sees through that. Casey's filing explicitly states Bella lacks maturity and the parents encourage a sexualized environment.
And the judge listened. So now everything comes down to this hearing.
May 29th. The custody hearing for baby Wes.
That courtroom is going to be insane.
But I want to leave you with one final thought, something that is really unsettling.
Oh God, what?
If this level of grooming, manipulation, and criminal arrests are happening right now,
Yeah?
what happens to the footage TLC has locked in their editing bays?
Wait, like the raw footage?
Yes. The unaired, unedited tape. Could that become subpoenaed evidence in a criminal trial?
Oh my God.
If authorities open a criminal investigation into Phelan, are reality TV contracts strong enough to hide actual child endangerment from the justice system?
That is terrifying. TLC could have literal evidence of abuse that they just edited out for a storyline.
It is a massive liability.
Babes, my mind is blown. I came into this episode with wine and questions, and somehow I am leaving with more questions.
And much stronger opinions.
Honestly, yes.
Might be it.
Fuck all these adults except Casey. Seriously, thank you to the Snark Squad for hanging out for this absolutely chaotic episode.
We really appreciate you guys navigating this mess with us.
Do not forget to share the podcast with a friend, rate, and review. We will be watching that May 29th date very closely.
Oh, absolutely.
Stay curious, stay chaotic, and we will see you on the Snark side.